We return to Mozambique and get an update on Cheia to see how she's doing. And we come to revisit Tzu Chi's first aid distribution in Turkey in 1999. Welcome to Dao Headlines. I'm Marilee Shioda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's programming in Mozambique, where Tzu Chi volunteers pay another visit to baby Cheia and her family. Cheia's parents could only work odd jobs, thus their income is not stable. Yet, despite their circumstances, the family knows the blessings in which brought them all together.
所以我这次看到他就好高兴，哇，长大了！
Cheia has grown up. She was born on the day when Cyclone Idai struck. Now she is 5 months old.
他们是用这个，我是看不出来。他们是拉这个布色线。
When she gave birth, they used thread on the umbilical cord to pull it off.
哦，实在是。
It is hard to imagine, but we really admire their resilience.
很难想象哦，但是真的也很佩服他们的那种生命的一个韧性。
Cheia's father, Alberto, said that the water was up to their chest back then. Seeing his wife was about to give birth, he asked his wife to climb the tree, and then he took a piece of cloth under the tree to catch their newborn baby.
I told him that he must get along well with his wife and treat her nicely because it was not easy for her. He said he knows this and will treat his wife nicely. I told him to love each other, and if they have any opportunity, they can join the volunteers to help others.
Since their home was devastated by the disaster, this family of 4 stayed in the temporary shelter for a few days, and then they stayed at their neighbor's home. They used the tools they had received from Tzu Chi to build their beds. After the disaster, they feel they have gained much more by way of family and friends.
I
think now I have more brothers and sisters just like you, and I have also become your siblings. I am very thankful for receiving love from all of you.
Although they cannot choose their fate, this family has overcome their adversity and lives their life to the fullest.
Starting in March 2018, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers have been distributing fresh produce every month at the Villa Corta Elementary School in La Puente, California, to low-income families. One benefit of this distribution event is that the children of these families no longer need to worry about nutrition as they pursue their studies.
Tzu Chi's fruits and vegetables are distributed once a month at the Villa Corta Elementary School to local low-income families who have become familiar with this distribution model. When it comes time for this work to get underway, the school is filled with people.
We have a very high rate of poverty here in the Roland Unified School District, particularly in this neighborhood, which is called the South San Jose Hills. So our food distribution helped them alleviate that food insecurity in a very powerful way.
Thank you.
The nutritional health of school-age children is closely related to their ability to learn. The school has found that many children, after eating a free lunch at school, some will go to restaurants to beg for leftover food for dinner. This is because their families cannot provide enough food to make them feel full. Tzu Chi's food distribution helps make up the gap by these impoverished families.
The need is for 3 meals a day with snacks, and this helps out at the home. The school district can help when they're in school, but after hours, they're on their own. And so this avails them to that assistance, after hours when they're at home.
Thank you.
Each month, volunteers prepare fruit and vegetables to distribute to students and their families, as well as low-income individuals in the community.
Enjoy.
The community is very helpful, letting us know the distribution that you guys are helping all the low-income home, that are in need of food and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what brings me out to, keep my family fed.
Tzu Chi Ciudad del Este of Paraguay delivers winter aid at Tzu Chi Elementary School in Carande tribe every year. This year, they have prepared 40 food baskets for families in Carande and Bocaja. Volunteers also celebrate Children's Day by preparing snacks and school supplies for the kids.
The medication prescription is written on the package. Dr. Miguel Aquino went to Carade tribe to provide free medical services for the second time.
Today I came with Tzu Chi volunteers to provide medical services to the villagers. Many children feel ill because of the respiratory diseases. Because of the cold weather in winter, almost all villagers were infected with influenza. That's why many patients have runny nose, nasal congestion, and other respiratory symptoms.
His mother, Suma, who is a local Tzu Chi volunteer, assists in hygiene teaching and tells everyone to wash their hands and avoid sharing cups. Tzu Chi volunteers also celebrate Children's Day with the children by preparing snacks for them, creating a happy atmosphere with humility and etiquette.
I want to thank Tzu Chi for bringing so many gifts to us. I am very grateful and happy.
Muchas gracias. ¿Estás feliz?
Sí. Winter aid food basket includes sugar, flour, noodles, cooking oil, and beans, a total of 15 kilograms.
I am very happy to get the food basket from Tzu Chi today. I will share it with my family. Thank you so much.
Tzu Chi does not only replenish food for the villagers, but also care for their health. At this event every year, Tzu Chi volunteers in Saturday estates always try their best to provide both physical and mental care to the villagers.
The same loving care is applied to seniors in China when Tzu Chi volunteers of Qingdao visit a nursing home. During their latest visit, students off on their summer holiday also joined the events and brought their spirit and energy to the seniors.
Residents of this senior citizens' home are anticipating the visit of Tzu Chi volunteers. They are in a good mood since the morning.
如果你脚可以的话，待会扶你下去看表演，好不好？好。很羡慕你啊，脸色这么好。
Today is the day of Qingdao Tzu Chi volunteers visit the elderly home. Many children who are on summer holiday come to volunteer.
I would like him to experience how to communicate with and help the elderly. When he goes home, he can also help his grandparents, especially when they are not in good mood or feeling uncomfortable. He can help them.
Besides care for the elderly in the room, the volunteers have prepared various performances to entertain the audience. Huan Yihan, who is 9 years old, sang a lively song which she has practiced for 1 week.
Because the elderly people are quite bored staying here, my mother and I came to visit them and send them a gift.
Children nowadays are mostly single child. They are quite self-oriented. Being the volunteers here, she can learn how to care for others and become closer to the elderly and respect them.
Impressed by the passion of the elderly, Huang Zhezhen, who is 70 years old and originally responsible for the audio system, showed off his singing talent.
It's quite difficult for me to visit my grandparents who are also staying in the elderly home. If I care for other elderly whenever I can, I think that it is also a kind of filial piety, though indirect, to my own grandparents.
The care and kindness of the younger generation satisfies the elderly, making them look forward to their next visit.
In central Taiwan, heavy rainfall has befallen Nantou for the last couple of days, causing danger to the mountain region. Residents of Minjin Township's Renghe village were evacuated for their safety. In showing Tzu Chi's love and care for the victims, volunteers brought Jingsi multi-purpose folding beds for the residents to sleep on.
Many residential houses in Renghe village have been destroyed by mudslides. Many residents have been evacuated to an activity center down from the mountain. They sleep on the straw mat. This 90-year-old grandmother says that once she lies down, she cannot get up.
I am used to sleeping on my spring bed and it is high up. Sleeping on this makes it difficult for me to sit up.
Next to her is grandmother Chu Ju, who also did not sleep well all night. After Tzu Chi volunteers saw the needs of the affected residents, They immediately sent multi-purpose folding beds to them in the afternoon. As soon as the bed has been set up, the grandmother cannot wait to lie down.
有寿司吧？有啊，有寿司啊。阿妈有欢喜吧？有啊。安怎欢喜？哦，吃爽，吃爽。今仔日一定会困较好。哦，对啦，这要出来爱国白。啊，这脚下落来就落来。
We want to provide warmth to these seniors, as well as give them more convenience to get out of bed, because all of them feel sore. In the beginning, they all laid on the ground and they felt like they were like refugees. Our hearts went out to them, and we have been trying to figure out some way to help them. Thankfully, Tzu Chi came immediately to help us. We feel very grateful.
The multi-purpose folding beds have solved the seniors' problems of feeling uncomfortable. Their sincerity and smile show their gratitude to the volunteers.
In continuing our look back at the 20th anniversary of Turkey's massive earthquake in 1999, we see how even though the disaster relief team from Tzu Chi back then consisted of only 2 volunteers and 2 Da'a reporters, they still managed to host a distribution of 6,000 blankets and 3,000 sleeping mats for the survivors. In the Muslim country, which is 8,000 kilometers away from Taiwan, in the massive disaster, love from Taiwan was not missing. Early morning, 3:01 a.m., a horrific earthquake woke the citizens of Istanbul. In a split second, many citizens were buried within their home.
Abla, Baba.
People look for family within the building cracks. Are there stamped letters ready for delivery which are unable to reach their recipients?
Fallen buildings like this one near Turkey's Istanbul numbers in the hundreds. The quake, which struck at 3:01 a.m., has become a living nightmare for those who've lost their family and friends.
慈济的师兄开车到那个灾区的时候，
When Tzu Chi arrived at the disaster zone, cleanup hadn't even begun yet. There are over 100,000 victims. Their buildings were very fragile. That's why a 6th-floor building could collapse like that. It was a frightening sight.
所以是非常触目惊心的，非常触目惊心。
Worried about aftershocks, the hospital rolled patient beds onto the streets, having makeshift medical stations there. Some hurry to see what they can salvage from their home, while others cannot begin to think about tomorrow.
But it's a mess. What is your plan? Where are you going to? We don't know. You don't know? You with your family? My family is... Papa, Mama? Here? Not time. Not time. Oh, okay, good.
Many of the victims pitched a tent next to their home, guarding their memories. Others moved to the tent homes the Red Crescent Society set up. However, most of the people found sleeping on the streets underneath the stars or near the mosque under the protection of their god Allah to be the safest.
With the disaster victims sleeping in the park, they wake up waste from the condensation. It was then we thought blankets and sleeping mats to be what they need the most.
This is how the disaster relief team began bargain shopping, looking for the highest quality items for the lowest possible price.
In securing the blankets, they went to many different vendors, carefully looking at the quality of the items, the color choices, and when they would be able to deliver the quantity needed. It was a very stringent task.
Faisal Hu, a Taiwanese businessman in the country, once wrote an article titled roughly translated to "Where is Taiwan during Turkey's massive quake?" for the United Daily News, also joined the disaster relief events alongside Tzu Chi.
Akwe told me you need to say thank you to them. I said, I know they will say thank you to me. He said, no, you must say thank you to them. This reminded me of our religious text where it says when you help the poor, you must not yell at them or blame them. You should respectfully help them. It's the same line of thought as our Muslim faith.
We're trying to be timely and practical, so we're using Master Cheng Yan's letter of condolence as the distribution voucher. Basically, if they bring the letter, they can receive the relief items. If they have a need, they can receive the items. We are not being too strict about it.
Having worked with Tzu Chi for a few days, the staff from Turkey's Red Crescent Societies expresses his feelings.
We are so sad and we are trying to do our best, but what makes me happy that you, in fact, because you, like your foundation, someone out of Turkey who really want to care and who really want to help us, it really indeed makes us very, very happy. For 3 days, I think we were together, and I will not forget these 3 days in my life, ever in my life.
The distribution and the long lines of people also attracted the interest of local media.
Yeah, I cannot speak Turkish, but when that moment we hold together, you don't need language. So the love will transcend the border of religion, of nationality, of language, of whatever.
The blankets and sleeping mat prevents the disaster victims from sleeping on the dusty ground. During the distribution, an elderly grandmother figure brought a pot of flowers as a gift for the volunteers. She says she will never forget this beautiful love from Taiwan. Indonesia's National Day is August 17th. It is usually celebrated by locals who take to the streets and engage in a variety of celebratory events and games to better get to know one another.
Standing on a bridge to take a photo with the river in the background, one can see dragon boat races taking place. Nearby, many are enjoying music and cultural performances. Even a walk along the river to buy a variety of authentic food or handicrafts. This is the annual festival Sisadane. Here, various kinds of recycled materials are turned into handmade products, such as an old towel turned into a flower vase, and plastic bags can be woven into a carpet. These various items educate the public about how to make the best use of unwanted items.
We appeal to the public to make good use of recycled resources. You can make something creative that everyone will be interested in. This can attract more people to know about our activities and thereby reduce the garbage around us.
There are nearly 200 booths occupying the entire riverbank, introducing a wide range of activities such as children's games, free medical services, and environmental education. The local Tourism and Cultural Bureau also stipulates that the people who come to this event must place recyclables in designated areas, as environmental awareness is starting to take root in many people's minds.
Staying in Indonesia, dragon boat racing has become a popular sport. For the past 3 years, the Jakarta Dragon Boat Festival has been held with international teams from all over the world. Apart from engaging in this competitive sport, the festival also teaches racers about the importance of protecting our oceans and rivers.
Even though it isn't the Dragon Boat Festival in Jakarta, an annual competition is held, bringing competitors from all over the world. 2 different paddle clubs came together to host the 2019 Jakarta Dragon Boat Festival, which is now in its 3rd year.
Most competitors are from Indonesia, but some come from outer islands such as Kambang, Bandung, and southern Kalimantan. When it comes to international opponents, we have some from Poland, Hungary, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. Many come from different backgrounds, races, and different countries, even speaking different languages. But everyone is able to come together. For those who like water sports, we should pay attention to environmental protection, especially plastic garbage entering the sea. So we remind everyone to at least bring a water container.
There are many different categories of competition, including men's, women's, mixed sex, students, and even professional. A total of 48 teams registered with 800 people competing.
One of the most important parts of our work is to promote cooperation between Hong Kong and Indonesia in various areas. So we believe that today's activity is a perfect representative of such cooperating. I think it is a good activity and a chance to connect with Hong Kong, with a number of companies supporting this activity.
While dragon boats may differ from country to country, it is generally slender in shape and decorated like a dragon. Beginning in 2010 was the first time this event followed international standards for competition. In the 250-meter women's competition, the mermaid team took first place for the 3rd consecutive year. In the athletes category, local paddle club won with a time of 1 minute and 13.054 seconds.
We are now training athletes from the grassroots level and preparing for world-class competition, just like our last time to participate in the Southeast Asian Games. First, we introduce the contestants to water sports, and as they develop a love for it, we can gradually overcome the difficulties we have encountered.
Organizers and the provincial government are working together to promote water-based activities, as well as environmental awareness, conserve all precious marine resources.
Tzu Chi University students participate in various summer internships across the country as part of their continuing education. One of the students from the Department of Child Development was able to land an internship in Pingdong to help children who need a bit of extra attention. She was able to practice the skills she learned in school to help these disadvantaged students. We'll leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.